Hillerød in northern Denmark, home to the Frederiksborg Palace, one of the greatest examples of Renaissance architecture in the world. It's here also that Great Britain's wheelchair rugby team hope to begin their renaissance after finishing 4th at the Beijing Paralympics last year.
This is just the start of the journey to 2012. We're just seeing who's got the right skills, the right tools to be on our 2012 team.
Having won 4 group games, Great Britain had secured their primary objective. A top 4 finish booked their place in next year's World Championships. Their final group match was against fellow unbeaten side Sweden. GB chose to use the match as an opportunity to give their squad valuable court time. With several experienced players not making the trip, this was as much about seeing what the emerging talent could do. Welshman David Anthony made an immediate impression, showing guts and guile, whilst Josie Pearson built on her debut in Beijing with a strong performance.
The court time for me has been invaluable. I mean, my debut was Beijing and I didn't see much court at all. I was a very new player, so coming to the European Championships and playing against the top teams in Europe is invaluable experience for my progress to the World Championships, I guess.
I thoroughly enjoyed it out there, you know, getting 3 quarters, which I weren't expecting to get. Just to play a big team like Sweden, it was just an amazing feeling, learnt a lot from it.
Importantly though, GB also got a 3.5-point player classified for the first time. 26-year-old Aaron Phipps from Southampton may be a rookie, but with the Paralympic finalists USA and Australia both building their teams round a big guy, GB may be looking to do the same.
I've only been playing 5 minutes compared to some of the other players, so big thing for me was classification. But to actually get on court, play against Sweden, play against Ireland, play against some top teams is some invaluable experience.
With an eye to the future, Great Britain decided the result against Sweden wasn't important, as they were through to the final 4. Defeat, though, set up a semi-final match against the winners of Pool B, Belgium. Great Britain, in blue this time, started strongly, Mandip Semi getting a starting place. The West Midlands player has begun training in London with key GB players in a bid to cement his international place.
His advice from the head coach to try and get as much court time with players that are in the elite, to try and sort of build some chemistry with them, because on-court chemistry is priceless, you know, and the more time I play with the likes of these players, the better I'll become.
It was 25-all at half-time. Belgium, however, were in fine form, giving an almost faultless performance. So GB errors proved all the more decisive. A 53-50 defeat meant Great Britain's European title was gone, and they faced a bronze medal match against Germany.
We're confident we can take the bronze, but we plan to continue with our developmental ethos all the way through. So we'll just see how that goes.
Having finished 4th at the last 2 Paralympics, these championships were very much about beginning the preparations to go at least one better in London in 3 years' time. Bringing developing players to a major competition was seen as the only way to improve Great Britain in the long term. Well, young David Anthony from Wales, one of those new players that have plenty of court time here in Denmark, and that's probably been the best thing that Great Britain will take out of this whole European Championships. They have, of course, already qualified now for Canada and the World Championships next year. That was the primary aim. A medal would be a real bonus. The bronze medal match against Germany was a rerun of the last 2 European finals. GB won on both of those occasions, but this match was to prove to be a hard-fought encounter. Much of the court time had rested throughout the tournament on their 4 senior players. Having to mentor and bring through developing players, though, had taken its toll, and uncharacteristic errors began to creep into the GB game. Germany took full advantage and established an unassailable lead to deny Great Britain a medal.
With the ethos that we set out before this tournament, we knew that might happen. It's one thing to say you're okay with it, it's another thing to experience it. Right now we're experiencing it, but we know that going forward this is the right thing to have done.
For us to move forward and to take that next step and to win a medal at the Worlds and Paralympic Games, we knew we had to do a job. We knew we had to develop players, otherwise we would have stayed exactly where we are. So we're moving in the right direction, and we've got the players to move in the right direction, and come next year, who knows what's going to happen. Let's wait and see. But, you know, you haven't seen the last of GB.
In the final, Belgium went on to win the European title over Sweden. Great Britain will remember this tournament for beginning their journey towards London 2012. They also relinquished their dominance in Europe with the hope of winning a greater prize in 3 years' time. Brandon Nichols, BBC News, Hillerød, Denmark.